I mean, just that whole story is like that's pay per view, guys. Like, you don't get a lot of that stuff.
I'll write
No,
a book one day.
How's it going? This is Daniel, and as you can see, I'm with my brother Jedi Grand Bell, and we would like to welcome you to Volume 27 for the Sci-Fi Society slash True Savage Gaming video discussion. And the topic we'll be talking about, if you guys have already seen the thumbnail, we were going to be talking about one of the most influential kaijus and films in the Showa era and in tokusatsu and kaiju lore altogether. And the film we're going to be talking about and the kaiju we're going to be talking about is Gamera. And the film, exactly, the film will be the 1965 classic Gamera, the Giant Monster, or slash the American version, Gamera the Invincible. And everyone, as we welcome you, we are the Sci-Fi Society. And basically, me and my boy Walt, aka Jedi Grand Bell, we started this back in early 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And still going strong. I've changed things up a little bit, and now I focus a lot more on gaming content. But as you guys can see, while you guys watch this video discussion, um, I'm not gonna turn away from a good conversation and just doing what we love, and what we love is talking about kaiju's. And the Sci-Fi Society is not going anywhere. It's still here, still kicking, just like anything in life. Shit happens, you get knocked down, but we come right back up. And it's also the first time for me on my channel that we are going to be talking about the legendary Gamera. And to start it all off, um, we'll just go with some history and nostalgia. And the film, of course, was released in 1965,
Mm-hmm.
and it was again called Gamera in Japan. It was released as Gamera the Giant Monster, and it's a Daikaiju Gamera, um, Giant Monster Gamera. Pretty much that's what it is.
Yeah,
It is
that's
a
all it is.
1965 Japanese kaiju film directed by Noriaki Yuasa, with special effects by Yonesaburo Tsukiji, produced and distributed by Daiei Film, which is another pretty much old school legendary Japanese studio. And it's the first film in the Gamera franchise and the Showa era. And the film stars Iji Funakoshi, Harumi Kiritachi, and Yunishiro Yamashita. I think I'm pretty good at pronouncing.
You're better at pronouncing those names than I am. I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's not easy, but yeah.
It's
But
not easy, but then again, it's like you're not butchering it like I would. I would like, ugh, no.
yeah, but okay. In the film, authorities deal with the attacks of Gamera, a giant prehistoric turtle unleashed in the Arctic by an atomic bomb. It's always got to be the A bomb, right? Especially back in the
Always.
short era.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just some of the information for the film that I wanted to talk about. And of course, we'll get to the film, and we don't want to, depending on if fucking StreamYard has a limit for pre-recordings, we're gonna try to get through. We're gonna try to not blitz through it, but
Say
talk,
jet through.
yeah,
I like how you say jet
talk
through.
about the best parts of the film, and some of the
Yeah.
plot. So, but just to start off, as we always do, when was the first time, my brother that when you saw any film of Gamera, or which was the first one you actually saw?
Well, my first Gamera experience, as far as going, this is going back to the late '80s. This is when, yeah, let's go back to the late '80s, and this is for a lot of these shows like Mystery Science Theater and all that stuff. I saw it on USA uh, channel, and the funny thing is, I came in like the tail, not the tail end, but the beginning of it, but like 15 minutes into that film. So this is back in '87. This is way back. This coming up 40 years ago, almost. And that was my first time seeing, not Gamera the 65 version, but the Gamera versus Zegra. That was my first Gamera film that I ever watched, and I could tell by what I was watching. It's like, okay, this is not being taken seriously. It's I could tell that it's more a childish adventure, and me being a teenager, it's like okay, I don't mind a little bit of silliness, but I'm not a kid anymore. I mean, maybe if I was a kid, like I say, under 10 years old, I'd probably be more, going with that, but I was a teenager who was borderline more on a little bit more maturity and a little more seriousness in the film. So when I watched this, like, it wasn't so much a turn off, but I knew that it was something about it that I like. Because I mean, yes, I like the kaiju's. I mean, I like monsters. I've always have been since I was a kid, and I think the introduction with Godzilla when my brother introduced me to um, famous monsters of Finland, and it had this spread with Godzilla and other monsters in there. I think that was my cue to say, okay, I'm a monster lover here. I love kaiju's, so this is no exception. Seeing a giant turtle, beating the crap out of some kind of fish-like thing, and then seeing. And the funny thing is, when you see the film, that's taking yourself seriously when you see a giant tortoise take a chicken chicken bone shaped rock and then start xylophoning on the back of Zegra's back, and then when he does that boom boom and then he starts getting his groove on like he's doing like Godzilla would, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, I can't take this seriously. But at the same time, I realize that's the whole point. You're not supposed to take it seriously because this is not necessarily for adults. This is for children. So, and in time, I would realize that that's exactly what Gamera was. He was friend to all kids. He's someone who's that kind of mechanism, and that's kind of
Friend
what
to
this
all children. Gamera,
friend of all children. Thank you.
friend of all children. Yeah.
And I realized in the end, as time progressed and I started seeing more of his films down years later, I realized like, and getting more information about it, I realized, okay, Gamera is that, it's that one. He's that individual where Godzilla was starting out as
Pinnacle.
the pinnacle. Yeah, he was the pinnacle. He was starting out as that threat. Whereas Gamera, he did start out like that, but he quickly changed his MO in a short amount of time, because from 65 to 71, really to the 80, he was predominantly for kids, except for maybe the first two Gamera films. But after that, it's like he's all kids play. So I realized, like with this film, the 65 version, I wouldn't actually see that film until like, geez, dude, I didn't officially see Gamera the Invincible until like into the 2000s. I didn't see that until like maybe. In fact, I think I didn't see it until like close to the teens of
Yeah.
the 2000s. That's how far it goes back with me. I mean, it's because I was sticking with the color versions of the films, even though I was even did with the Heiseis and all that stuff. But no, dude, I mean, the film, you got to realize, if you're gonna treasure the ones that you're looking at, if they're there in color, deal with the one that was the original that started it all with the go-to, and when you watch it, you realize it's a whole different story. It's a whole different vibe, because we see that Gamera, like Godzilla in the first film in '54, he's a threat, but realizing that, unlike Godzilla, although in a way maybe like Godzilla, he's misunderstood. He just didn't have that child to really understand, be there to understand Godzilla. Whereas Gamera, he had that, and I think the filmmakers knew that ahead of time. It's like because Godzilla at this time, before Gamera came out, Godzilla was being more appealing to children. He's becoming more, fan favorite to them. So they feel like, well, let's kind of, put aside and saying that, okay, we're gonna make this kaiju a threat. He's going to be a threat, but let's kind of intervene that children are involved and not something that's going to be annoying or anything like that. They're actually something appealing to the kids, and that the kids who watch this, like, okay, he's bad, but he's just misunderstood. He's just a misunderstood character. That's kind of my take on Gamera when I first was introduced to him. Like I said, I was almost 20, but at the same time, it's like it's a reason why he stood with me all this time, because, like I say, I mean, even though I'm a Godzilla fan, I'm a Gamera fan also. And that shows how much influence Godzilla has on the kaiju world.
No, yeah, no, that's great information, man, and thank you for your insight on the first time you had ever experienced or ever was introduced to Gamera. And like me, it's pretty it was more touch and go, because of course, like, I saw Godzilla first, but I think I was watching on USA Network. I think it was
That's it.
yeah, Monster. I think it's, what do you call it, Monster. What's it
Monster.
called? Mystery Science Theater.
Mystery Science Theater.
Mystery Science Theater. And
Mm-hmm.
like you, the first film I saw was Gamera versus Zigra.
Okay.
I actually, it's funny because I was so young. I think I was about maybe 11, and I saw Gamera. I saw the big turtle. I saw Zigra, but I actually thought Zigra was Gamera and Gamera was Zigra. And I actually liked Zigra's at first. I liked Zigra's design first, but then I was like, oh shit, and then I said, okay, no, Gamera is the turtle. Like, okay, and then Gamera grew on me really quick, and then I like just like you explained, the whole using the big old boulder, and you touching his fins and everything, like and that, and yeah, but as a kid, I soaked all of that up. So
right.
But like anybody, we want to focus on the monster battles and everything, and they were out there. Those movies were out there.
Yes, they were.
And we have to remember that Gamera was the countermeasure to, not exactly a countermeasure, but Gamera became Godzilla's competition as far as kaiju films. Because everybody says, oh, well, it's tokusatsu, this and that, monster kaiju. It's the same shit. Tokusatsu can be also more focused on more character-driven stories, human character-driven stories.
It just has special effects in there, but you don't have to monsters in there. And the thing about it is the kaijus are supposed to be a representation of human beings anyway.
Yeah. So, but I mean, still kaiju films, tokusatsu, but it's all stuff that we love and that we love watching.
Yeah.
And when I watched the film, well, half of it I try to get to most of it, but it definitely, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's a classic. The story's out there, but the one that now that we're talking about that introductions, my favorite film that we will get to, especially after this one down the line, my favorite of the whole Showa is War of the Monsters, or AKA Barugan. And though I do like the fact that they know that they literally put like down in Gamera's lore that he is the friend of all children, but the one that I think is the most dramatic of them all is War of the Monsters, because there was no children at all.
Yes.
And I think they might have said, well, you know what? I think the director, when we get to that, I'll just think he said, well, you know what? Maybe people didn't take it too seriously for the first one, so let's make it a more seriously driven movie for the second outing. And dude, that's my favorite film. Gamera versus Barugan is my favorite show of Gamera film.
That one is brutal. I will say that it's definitely brutal.
Yeah, it's good, brutal. The story, I mean, it's still out there, but it's more grounded than the other one.
Yeah, I think it is.
But like this one too, this one has good grounding, and but like I said, for my introduction, that's pretty simple. Like I soaked Gamera up, man. Zegra. That was the first one I saw, and then I used to go to Major Video and rent out the VHSs of. I think I saw Godzilla. I saw Godzilla. I saw Gamera versus Barugan, and I saw Gamera versus Guiron, and then I think I saw Gamera versus Gauss, and
Mhm.
I just soaked it all up, bro. So I was watching two different ones. So it's like, and of course Godzilla came first. So we love Godzilla. You know, he was the first one, but we all know that Daiei's counter to kaiju films was Gamera, and till this day,
Yeah.
even though Daiei, I think they're defunct. I don't know. I think they're back now, but
I think they are, but I can't be for sure. I think they was bought up by another
subsidiary. Yeah,
yeah,
they're a subsidiary now, but yeah, but they were because I think they were defunct for a while, but I'm not.
yeah, they were. They
Anybody who
definitely.
watches this, leave a comment. I know it's not a live stream, but let me know. Um, but yeah, it was complicated because now I think Gamera is owned by Kadokawa, and
That's what I was thinking. Excuse me.
yeah. So like I said, we're just delving into our introductions to Gamera and what we know about it, and like I said, I have the complete collection for Gamera Blu-ray Showa and Heisei eras. And I love Gamera, dude. I mean, I have my SH right there, but I was like, this one's closer to to get to. So I
Savage.
love, yeah, I love Gamera, man. And but yeah, he's just up there. He's just below Godzilla as far as popularity, but
Yeah, I mean he's I mean because like I say, even though it's a different studio, and I think to me that's saying something because it's telling you that you know, and Toho has always been a powerhouse when it came to
yeah,
tokusatsu or kaiju type lore, but it's like knowing that this small not so much independent studio because it was big on the list back then too.
yeah,
It it got foreshadowed by Toho, but they did bring something out that is still long lasting even after 60 years, and it's still here. So that
yeah.
tells you something there.
No, exactly, and that's what I'm saying, man. And I got to throw this out there too, since it's the first uh, video discussion that I've ever done for Gamera.
Mhm.
I think it's 2023 anime for Gamera Rebirth. I thought was
Mm.
amazing, man. That
Yes.
yeah, that that specific anime literally wiped the floor with what Toho came out with their Polygon trilogy and even
Mm.
their Singular Point series.
Oh no, look. I have to agree with that. I mean, because I never even watched those anime films. I mean, I saw Singular Point, and the funny thing is about that one with Godzilla Singular Point, I actually liked it the first go around, but when I did a second viewing, I was like, "What the fuck was I watching?" I was like, "What the hell is I looking about when I watched this?" And it just made me think to myself, like when I saw Rebirth, because I know you suggested it to me. I said, "Well, let me check it out." I was like, "Oh shit, this movie is no, this ain't nothing like what Singular Point was. I mean, this movie is like a hell of a lot better than that one, And like I say, I never saw the Godzilla films, anime films, so I was like, I can't say anything about those. But from what I grasped from looking, I don't think I would have enjoyed them. To tell you the truth, this one I did take a liking to, you know.
So you gotta show this off right there.
Yeah, see.
See, Gamera Rebirth. This was I liked it so much that I ended up buying this specifically.
And the
And
funny thing is, some scenes in that film do seem a little off a little overboard, but actually they kind of hold true because that one scene with is it Guron, um, the way he slices and jumps up, it's like that's like a little over, but it's like at the same time, it's like I don't mind it, it's
yeah,
pretty
like
badass.
because that's what I'm saying. Like even the kids' characters, you kind of grew. They're annoying as fuck. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but I think it was the children, even in this, you root for them in the end. You root for them
yeah,
in the and I was not expecting that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, because it wasn't received as well as they thought. But like true purists, of course, like me and you, we soaked it all up and we ate it all up.
Yeah.
And the kaiju fights, man, Gamera looked savage as fuck, bro. He
Right.
looked, all of them did, all of them, even Jiger, man, even Jiger looked a little menacing. So,
Hmm.
and Jiger was the most hilariously goofy freaking monster in the whole Godzilla, in the whole Gamera Showa era. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's, you see how we're getting into this shit, like that's
It's
a,
that's what I was going to say because it's funny because when you see the redesigns of them in that anime, I was like, because I was curious to like say, well, how's this kaiju going to look? How's it? And the one I was looking forward to was Zigra, and sure enough, when that one came out, it's like, okay, this is not what I expected, but at the same time, it's like, yep, this is what they're going because like they're trying to make them more menacing, much more. It's like we're not doing it family friendly stuff. We're doing like, yes, this motherfucker will take you out if you don't watch it. You know,
see, and another thing, like now before we get to the actual film, I want to say about about the Rebirth series. I mean, the Showa era, I mean, we'd have to do a whole other different video
yeah, that's what
to
I'm saying.
do the Heisei era of Gamera, which was one of the best kaiju eras series
Hmm.
ever that was ever created. But but going back to Rebirth, man, with the Zigra part, I did kind of get pissed off because they didn't go with the shark aspect of Zigra.
Right? Yeah,
And yeah, and but I understand towards the end of their battle that why they wanted to get Zigra out of the water, because Zigra definitely had a small advantage over Gamera in the water.
yeah,
And if Gamera would have had, I think it would have been more of a shark form. I think Zigra would have had an even more uh,
advantage over. Yeah.
advantage against Gamera,
Mhm.
especially with the sharp. Because remember, it looked like Zigra had actual metal, like a metal helmet, like a metal plate.
Yeah,
And Gamera, though Gamera is very, very, very durable. Well, actually, more durable than the Showa era. He was kind of very kind of vulnerable in the Showa era. But
hmm,
as far as like the Rebirth era and even the Heisei era, he was a little more durable. But they what I like about the aspect of Gamera is they made him more vulnerable than Godzilla. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
and that's what I love about it. And I think that's why they went with the Stingray aspect. So because Stingrays, the way Zebra was, able to get out of water, he's able to crawl on the two wings and his small feet.
Hmm.
So that's just my take. But yeah, man. But
But
what's it?
but just to hone into that too, it's like I mean, it's almost that Transformers motif, the Michael Bay film, and someone says like, "Man, you ruined my childhood," and blah blah blah. It's like man, Optimus Prime is not looking. It's like, dude, it's like you got to stop and think about this. I mean, yeah, he's not looking like. I mean, Optimus Prime's got the headgear to make him look like Optimus Prime, but any of the other uh, Transformers is like let let your imagination run wild and know that this is movie version compared to cartoons. When you
Yeah,
was a kid, you're an adult now, so you shouldn't take it too seriously anyway because that was then, this is now. We got to upgrade these things, and that's kind of what Ziegler was. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, when I saw him, I've been thinking, what who is this? But then when it kind of shows some features that reminded me of Z, it's like, oh, okay. So it's yeah, dude, get these got saying free your mind, your ass will fall. That's all I
yeah,
say.
and like I said, to before we get to Gamera the Giant Monster, 1965, by Daiei Films, Japanese. Japanese cannot beat them in kaiju, can't beat them in anime. But
Mm-mm.
um, the farewell part from Gamera Rebirth, when he actually sacrifices himself,
Yeah.
that got me the feels, man. That got me in the
Oh
feels.
no, it did with me
Yeah,
too. Yeah. Totally.
like it got me in the feels, man. I'll shed some tears, man, when I'll get emotional, for stuff that I really love, but it's very very seldom. But usually I like to do it in silence and solitude. But um, that's the best part. about that film, man. And I could tell how many purists there were, because I was hoping if they did make if they did make a season 2, man, I would be like, shit. They didn't bring Barugan in. Barugan to me was one of the more dangerous foes of Gamera.
Yeah. We
But
got to
yeah,
remember. You got to remember too. I mean, it's that shows how much work they did and put it into the anime to begin with, because animes, especially for me, I'm not going to feel no so-called real emotion, but I feel that that's what shows that you are invested with the character of the show itself, because you would not feel, because I know I felt a little, summer about, I was feeling kind of some kind of way. I was like, damn, why am I feeling something about a turtle? But that shows right there how much they put into making you feel something, and knowing that it's like, well, you think you're not going to feel nothing from this. It's like you're dead wrong, because when he dies, or I'm not going to even say die, when he kind of transcends into something else, it's like, oh no, it's like he's gone, but it's like he's not really dead. It's like
yeah,
that's you get in there, man. I mean, that's the same way when we see Godzilla eventually dies in or say transcends his energy to his son and
Godzilla,
destroy it. It's
Godzilla versus Destroyer.
you feel that, but that shows that
Man.
they're putting that they're showing they're putting that emotion into something that you feel like it's a silly thing, but it's not really that. It's letting you know how invested you are with these characters.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I could tell you, bro. It's a Jedi Grand Veil, man. That's why we started the Sci-Fi Society, bro, and now it's the Sci-Fi Society slash True Savage Gaming, dude. Evolution. We'll soon bring in some other of our buddies on our new group chat, which is called True Savage Gaming slash Sci-Fi Society, and just we love this shit, bro. We live for this stuff.
Yeah,
We do it.
exactly.
Sometimes, like I said, anybody who knows me knows that I can't. I'm not that active, but I have to find ways. I gotta find ways to do my shit though with my brother. My brother
Yeah.
with Dean Film Fanatic. We'll be getting him together.
Yep, gotta get
Sean,
him there.
Sean Kitagawa, and we'll bring in some of the new cats from True Savage chat, and yeah, bro. But all right, brother. Started off with Gamera, the Giant Monster, 1965.
Yes.
Started off, my brother.
Oh, started off. Okay, you and me.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. No, the whole premise of this film, it's almost a not precursor. It's almost a so-called flash kind of what the 54 Godzilla does. It starts in a place where you wouldn't think it starts out, but it involves nuclear armament that or pollution that awakens God. I mean, Gamera. He wakes up in the Arctic where he's been frozen for so long, and as it turns out, he's awakened by human arrogance or human error, because humans are the only reason why any of these kaiju's even come to being again to live on the surface of the earth. So he's been frozen, and the only reason how he's released, because this is during the Cold War. This is during the Cold War between Russia and America, and well, we already know about that, but we won't go into all details about that. But we see that there's a scientist, Mr. Netaka Naka, and his assistant Kamo.
Kyoko.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's just to help you out. It's Dr. Hidaka, his assistant Kyoko, and reporter Aoji.
Oh, gee, yes. Okay, they're there to explore some things, doing some research and blah blah blah. Well, at the same time, there's some situations going on above with these planes. These fleet of them flying around, and they're just flying around, and this is kind of neutral territory for American lands, and they feel like, okay, who is this? And from what I've heard, I mean, I've heard it's Russian, but then again, it might not be, but it's still they're invading airspace here. So they
Question.
shoot one of them down. Go ahead.
Question. That
Mhm.
ship, that ship that was in the movie too, in the beginning.
Yes.
Was that Soviet or was it?
No, that was a Japanese ship.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make
That
sure
was
because
a Japanese.
I
That
saw
was.
Japanese. I'm like, I'm thinking that has to be Japanese. So I'm
Mhm.
like, because it's probably a fishing. It was probably a fishing.
It's. I think it was a fishing trawler. Yes, I think it was a
Yeah.
freighter.
So
That's what it
okay,
was.
but I do remember seeing the planes, and I do remember that. I know you're gonna get to the part, just and I'll pass it
Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah.
Where I think I think the U.S. there's like maybe there's like an SOS or something,
Mm-hmm.
and not an SOS, but they get in touch. I guess the United States forces gets in touch with any aircraft out there, and they tell them, okay, just do some reconnaissance and see what the hell's going on. Why they're saying that we're seeing not identified, unidentified fighters or
Yeah.
jet, yeah, or an unidentified aircraft.
Yeah.
So take it away, bro. Sorry about that.
No, but no, it's exactly. I mean, then they shoot one of them down, the American fighters, and it does do this great effect of a mushroom cloud. If one shot is in mushrooms, but then you see still not so much a still shot, it's a matte painting of a mushroom cloud, which I gotta say the effects in here have done pretty well considering it was back in '65. And it wasn't done by Toho. It was done by Toei, and they did, like I say, they did a pretty good job. I think their budget was a little cheaper than Toho's, considering.
Yeah, yeah.
But the budget for Japanese anything is lower than America, surprisingly. That's what's so crazy. And they brought out great things. But anyway, they shoot it down. It cracks the ice, and up comes our favorite Ninja Turtle coming out of just saying, "Hey, I'm here. What the fuck? I've been asleep all this time." And then he kind of attacks the ship, the fishing ship, and I think that's when they did the SOS and whatever, But they do that, and as time progresses, the reporter, the assistant, and the doctor, they see all these things, and they feel like, well, we got to go back to the
Japan.
Japan and, like, say, alert people of these things. Now, during all this time, we're introduced to going back to Japan, which we are at. We're introduced to a young kid named
Toshio.
Toshio, and he's somebody who loves turtles. He's just a big fan of them. He loves them. Now, I gotta have this kind of beef talking about this. I gotta talk about this, and it's not
Do
so
it.
much topic, but I think it's necessary for me because even though I didn't see this film until like years later, it angers me to no avail when I watch this movie, especially at the beginning, how irritatingly stupid the adults are, or at least like not understanding, especially Toshi's sister and father. We're introduced to his sister first before we meet him, and this is where I say the adults are such dickheads. The his teacher, Toshio's teacher, comes up to his sister and tells him that there's a problem. He's been bringing turtles to school, but also drawing them. And from what he's saying, that he needs to interact with other children. It's not. That's the thing. It's not affecting his work. It's not affecting his schoolwork. It's not affecting anything like that. But his interaction with other kids is like a seriously bad thing. In other words, it's like it's making him an introvert or something like that. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that his interaction is more important than his fucking schoolwork? I mean, I thought the whole purpose is if he's learning his ABCs, one, two, threes, anything where he can learn, it's like basic skills or anything like that. You mean to tell me that's more threatening? That's less threatening than or should say that's more threatening. Not, I mean, basically he's saying that that's more threatening, him having a turtle, not interacting with kids. That's more of an issue than anything. And I'm just like, he tells his sister this. I'm just like, and that's why I say to myself, here's an asshole teacher. Then this asshole bitch of a sister goes to tell his asshole father that Toshi is not is bringing turtles to the school and blah 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 and drawing them. It's like, I was like, he's a kid. He's a kid. Kids are gonna do these things. What is so damn wrong with a kid being a child? You know, I don't understand that. But not so much getting off topic, but Toshi is told by his father and his sisters, like, you know, you go ahead and throw away, you know, this turtle that you have, send it back in the sea. And this is the first appearance of Gamera, you know. And this is why I say again, how stupid some of these, how stupid the not the parents but the adults are. I can't stand them. I say, as I watch it, I get so triggered because y'all mean to tell me that y'all, you know, are being told that, okay, because when he first sees him and he tells his sister, look, there's something out there. She didn't see anything because he's obviously not there. She said, oh, you silly Billy, you know, you just, it's like, I was like, okay, you mean you're just gonna brush it off because he's a child? That's what you're gonna do? It just irks me to so agree when you see that these individuals they're supposed to be the smarter ones because they're adults. Turns out the smartest person in this film is not, I mean, not to say the doctor, because the doctor's actually the more smart one. He's not the one who's dumbing around in the picture like the other characters, the other adult characters.
Yeah.
Him and Toshio are the ones that are actually the more smarter ones. So, because even at the end of the picture, when the doctor tells him, you know, well, you're going to be a great, not scientist. I mean, not scientist. He's going to be a great doctor. I mean, what was it, the doctor or something along the lines? He's going to be a great scientist. He say, no, I'm going to be a scientist. I'm going to be that, you know, because I want to be just like you, you know, someone who's actually got their head together. But like I say, he's attacked this, Gamera attacks this lighthouse. That's where his father works at. It gets destroyed. But while
it was in Sagami Bay, actually.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Sagami Bay. He destroys the lighthouse, and Toshio is hanging on by a thread on it, but Gamera saves him, which shows that Gamera is not this so-called life-threatening to Earth kind of creature. Yeah. He's just somebody, as I said again, misunderstood. And Toshi sensed this, you know, he senses these things. So he, like I said, Gamera leaves, you know, he goes away. And, you know, in time, you know, they try to figure out some kind of plan to kind of destroy him or just basically kill him and anything like that. So they come up with this, the army comes up with a plan to, you know, pretty much, you know, say, well, I think he's attracted to fire, but maybe we use freeze bombs on him. That'll take him out. And, you know, I think the doctor, like so many doctors, will.
I'll just say, man, I'll just say this. Now, remember that he attacks a nuclear facility.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was after. Yeah, that was before, actually, man. That was before he goes to when they use the freeze bombs on him. Okay. Thermal power plant. So yeah, I'll just add to this. This scene and the special effects in this scene were awesome.
Yes.
Like when they show, because there was even an explosion, and you know when you actually see my video, man. You actually see the video once I've done, you know, editing this. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be like, wow, like some of the explosions were actually really, really freaking like close to the suit, man. And I mean, obviously there was no reported injuries because they have to, you know, they were very good. A lot of those, especially Dai at the time, were very more, I guess they were more
risque with.
Well, not only that, they were safer, but it was also
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say
they were more proactive. So they were more proactive, but it was still great, man. It was still great.
Well, you got to remember too. You got to remember this: that the suit actors that are in the suits, the actors who performing it, they're basically they're actors, but they're at the same time they're stunt performers. And like so many stunt performers, they know the risk of, you know, how to deal with, you know, certain, you know, falls, hits, or anything like that. AKA Mr. Nakajima, who's fallen from the rafters when he was in the Rodan suit. He's been shot in the dick, in the groin area when he was playing Varan. He's been shot. He's been caught on fire in the Godzilla suit in multiple times. And he's been buried alive doing some scenes, you know, doing some stuff all like that. Yeah. So he knew the risk. He's an actor. He's a suit actor who knows the risk, but he's like, well, I mean, if I'm going to give him my all, I'm going to make sure I take the hits as best I can to bring this particular creature to life. And the guy who played Gamera, I'm not sure who it was. I mean, I know this because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there was like 2 or 3 suit actors that played him during the Showa era. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but he I think the actor who did the first one, he kind of knew about, or he's coordinated about how not to get. He got close, but not so much like it will the suit catch on fire, and will I get some smoke insulation from all this? Because you got to remember, the suit I think was pretty much like all those suits back then. They were made out of rubber. I don't think they were necessarily fire resistant, although some suits at a certain time later on were fire repellent.
Fiberglass, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say fiberglass. Those things could be toxic if they do catch on fire. So they got to be smart about how they perform. So yeah, but yeah, the explosion there. Sorry, going rambling on. I mean, it's just that once I get started, that's why I say okay, Walter, put the brakes on there. I gotta say, okay, that's when you realize that all these things are going on, and he's attacked the facility. Like I say, the government's got to do something that's pretty much stop him. So they they hatch up an idea to say, let's see if we can freeze him. Okay, and let's remember now, before this, there was a sighting of a UFO that happens. We don't know exactly what it is. We just thinking like, oh, this is another threat.
Yeah.
So after he's done the demolition derby on the nuclear facility, he's getting charged up, and then later on they do shoot him with these cold bombs, or I guess called cold bombs, whatever you want to call them.
They're freezing bombs, yeah.
Freezing bombs. Thank you. They're called freezing bombs. They get him inoculated in a way, and you think he's down for the count. And here's another example where I said before with the human beings in the movie.
Celebrate too early.
They celebrate too early. They do, dude. That's they see.
That was a common occurrence in the Showa era, even in Toho's films with Godzilla.
Yeah, it's like you celebrate too damn early, thinking like, oh, we got the upper hand. The humans, they come up on top. Yeah, he's down on his backside. He pulls himself back into his shell. And one of the guards, when they see one of the soldiers sees this, he say, "Oh, Gamera must be ashamed because he lost." It's like, okay, bitch, you about to find something out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he powers up, and they all look. They're all like, "Huh?" They're all aghast. He starts spinning around, and then he turns into what people have been seeing lately, which is this UFO that's been flying. It's like, oh shit, it's him. He's been flying. And we got to remember, Gamera is like, I think the only, not the only, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. He's one of the few that's a triphibian type creature. He can fly, he can walk on land, and he can swim.
Yeah, and he can breathe in water, and he can breathe underwater.
He can breathe underwater. Yes, he can definitely breathe underwater. And when we see him take off, everyone's like, oh shit, I guess we got a different problem here. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, this guy can fly. You thought you had him. It's like, no, you all you are ants to him. That's all you are. You think you got the upper hand. All you did was just let him know. It's like, oh, these human beings, they're clever. But guess what? I'm far more clever because you don't know what I can do. So when he starts spinning around and starts getting out of there, it's like, yeah, y'all got to come up with a different idea. So after all this is going down.
Yeah. No, I was just going to add to, let me just add that after that went down, Toshio went to Dr. Hiraka and said that, look, he's just lonely. I think this is just his opinion. He says Gamera is just lonely, and he's not, if he's destroying anything, he's destroying, like he destroyed the thermonuclear
facility,
the geothermal plant because he's hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, he eats flame, like radiation. He
Yeah,
sucks it up. You know,
like
but I
my.
mean, they say flames, but they don't say radiation because they don't want, they don't want the copyright bullshit
Mhm.
with Toho and all that. But he does breathe fire too, so he breathes fire. And but the whole point I'm saying is Toshio was telling him, look, it's a kid. Remember, sometimes like in other movies, kids know something about these kind of things,
Yes.
and like it's not till later. Like I think it's not till later that Dr. Hidaka starts to
Really.
not totally believe, but he starts to, okay, whatever you're telling me, I'll take it into consideration.
Hmm.
And even the girl, even his sister, Kyoko. Um, so Kyoko is the sister, right? Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So and
No,
then
not no. Koyoko is just the scientist
oh yeah,
assistant.
yeah.
She's
Because
just
I don't know
different.
what happened to her. She kind of like disappeared. But
She's a background character, but she's effective too, But
yeah.
she, as the reporter has told her, you're my goddess and everything. And I'm just like,
Oh,
dude,
Nobuyo. Yeah, Nobuyo.
Nabuyo, yes,
Yeah, Nobuyo is yeah, that's his sister.
is his name,
But
and
yeah, Toshio explains to Dr. Hiraka his belief that Gamera is lonely and not evil. So
mhm.
he's not evil. And but meanwhile, like I said, they're starting to use they start to use fossil fuels. Like you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, no, you
Yeah, they start to use the fossil fuels. And here's the crazy thing that I just noticed that meanwhile, disasters and accidents start to occur in the Kodo Ward. The Kodo Ward is where I stayed when I went to Japan in 2024.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I stayed right in Kodo City. I stayed right in Kodo City, man, and
Oh
it was
wow.
crazy. But yeah, but enter the internet. The International Scientific Conference is called and decides to use the Z plan.
Yes.
So they start to use a Z plant based in Oshima Island, and it's cool. Like I'll just take it from here and I'll pass it back to you, man.
Yeah. Go
Uh,
ahead.
this place, this scientific facility, man, is like, of course, it was a drawing. It had to be a drawing in the
No, it
background.
was drawing.
Yeah,
It was a map painting and
but
everything.
that drawing was like, holy shit, that looked really cool, man. Like you can imagine,
It did.
like you can even Toshio when he gets there, he's like, wow, look at this place. It's all so cool and everything. And then we don't know when Gamera's everywhere. He can fly, so
Yeah,
he
you
can
could
be from
fly.
point A to he can be from point A to point B like this. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So that's the good part. But I did like the design of how the facility looked,
Yeah.
and that's what I forgot the other doctor. There was another doctor. It was the one with the
There
white.
wasn't not. He looked more like Einstein. He was like a Japanese Einstein. I can't remember his
Yeah, like
name.
I think he's another. Okay, Doctor Murase. There you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, Doctor Murase. I think that was him. Yeah, Doctor Murase, and then Yoshio Yoshida, the Inu chief. Remember, there was in the beginning. Just to go back, there was I think like they were in the certain part of the no, we'll call it the North Pole or something like that, but
Mhm.
Arctic and in the Arctic, and there was like Eskimos, and it's cool because they had dogs. Like they even had the sled dogs and everything. It was cool. It was like,
Yeah.
I mean, poor fur babies, man. They're probably long. But, I mean, that was 65. So, but I did like just to get to it. Like we're at 40 48. So we're making good time.
No, we're making good time. We're making
Uh,
great time.
I liked the practical effects and the settings and what do you call it? The cinematography was great.
Yeah, because you got to remember too. I mean, I'm gonna give it back to you. It's a funny thing that this is filmed in black and white, but they do an excellent job in capturing, the feel for it. Which I feel is a good thing because, like I say, I think the reason why they filmed it in black and white because I think they wanted to get the same feel as the original Gojira. I think that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah. Now that I think about that, you have a good point. Like I wonder that color came in what 50, 56, 55.
55. I think no, it's 50. It was 56. It was
Yeah, like
56.
color came in like Technicolor, whatever how they call it.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, I understand that.
At least for them, it was 56. It wasn't
Yeah,
because they didn't. Yeah.
yeah, and but I'm saying like the sets were the sets for as low as a budget it probably was. No way, I don't think it was as big as a budget as Gojira 54, but
No, it wasn't.
it was. But what they did, and again, and I say this for a lot of the Showa films of both Toho and Dai at the time, uh, they made what money they had, they made the best out of it. They didn't waste anything, and some of the special effects in this movie were kind of better than in some of the later Godzilla films. So it was so, but not saying all of them, but there's some it looked good. It looked the aesthetic of the black and white feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get some of that flavor, some of that glory from Gojira 54.
Well,
I
man.
think it was a smart move on their part. I think it was smart.
No, they were trying to hone in because like I say, here in America they do that so well. Like if a movie like Star Wars or Star Trek or even Jaws, they try to say, okay, we could probably do something similar to this that they done and see if we can do it on a lower budget, and and some have done that, and they done it. Some have done it well, and some become cult classics, but they will do that, and some of them do turn out to be more than what they expected, and it just they become their own entity, which is what Gamera is. He's his own entity only because he was piggybacking off of what Godzilla was, and he just became his own, unique field there, and that's what I like about knowing that Gamera, even though he seems like he was overshadowed by Godzilla, Gamera was like saying, "No, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, fool. I'm going to do my thing," you
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, it was of course as an imitator. Gamera started as an imitator,
Yeah.
but like a lot of them are, like even Gorgo and
Yeah.
Yongori and
The
Joe,
Triphibian, the Gappa, as I like to
yeah,
call it.
Gappa, yeah. Who else? What do you call it? The behemoth.
Yes, the behemoth, yeah, the giant behemoth.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then like all of that was the forefather of that to me. Like everybody said, was the beast from 20,000 fathoms.
yes,
From
that's right.
20,000 fathoms. So
Mhm.
we know our shit, bro. We know our shit.
Oh yeah, we know it. We
But
definitely
it's
know
like
our shit.
but I mean like
We couldn't talk about this if we didn't know our stuff.
yeah, exactly. And now getting back to the film, where I'll pass it back to you, is that they're at this facility, this scientific facility.
Mhm.
It's really, it looks high tech, and it looks really really like, for the time, for the 60s, it looks really high tech.
Yeah.
And this is where they start to hatch the plan to lure Gamera to this pit, to a giant rocket. And I'm like, how they were able to, maybe they had already built that thing, but how that would have, I mean, I know the movie is out there, but that would have taken fucking years to build that shit.
Well, see, this just shows, and as you say, that's just very true. Um, it would take years. It would take, it'd take a long time. I mean, hell, it would talk whatever. But it just shows that with Japanese, not to say that Americans, but I think Americans kind of got a little lazy in time with this. Japanese are very, very efficient when it comes to organizing certain things and really making them and honing in and getting things that need to be done to be built and processed and everything. And they don't half-ass it. That's the thing about it. They never half-ass certain things in real life. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to build a giant rocket, to be blasting out of space in the time that they do it here. But the way they do it is efficiency. It's very efficient, and they show that they are amazing at what they accomplish in the little time that they have. Because the bridge, the suspension bridge that's in Japan, that connects. I can't. I mean, you probably. I'm not even going to try to attempt the name of the bridge, but it's the longest suspension bridge in the world, and it took them a decade to build. But if they hadn't, put the plan in on making it, in building it, it would have taken them even longer. So it shows right here when you see them lure Gamera into this rock. And I got to say, you kind of got to get the kind of dimensions down in terms of size, because Gamera is like 200 feet tall. Okay,
Yeah.
he's like, that's how tall he is. He's in the pot. He's in the hatch part of it, the top of it. That damn rocket has to be at least shit, maybe over 1,000 feet long or something like that. It's got to be. It's got to be high. Because I can say it's like you can put like two. I say at least 1,000 feet. It's got to be 1,000 feet. It's got to be because this rocket's not hard.
I think it's about 600 feet. I think it's about 600 feet. I think it's about 600 feet tall and about maybe 1,000 feet wide.
Okay. So
I think, but I could be wrong. You could be right too. I mean, it's a good point. You make a valid point.
Because I'm trying to do the math on that because it's like as we mentioned before, it's way out there, but you got to say, and I'm the kind of person, even when I was a kid, I try to put logistics into movies. It's crazy that sounds because it's like it's a movie. You can't see logistics in what they are because logistics is like you got to throw that out the window. Your suspension of disbelief has to leave. But I try to say it's like how big is that thing is, and I figure it's got to be that big in terms of that. But they lure him into this because in the end, we seen Toshi, literally sacrifice himself to some degree to try to help Gamera on that platform where there's oil tanks, and everything, so he can get get food from that way. And he tries to help him that way, but he almost gets killed, but he's not worried about his safety. He's trying to worry about Gamera's. It shows right there that he's more passionate about saving him than anything, and it shows right there. It shows the character of this child not being because the child characters we see later on, some of them are a little overbearing, some of them are, but Toshi is one of those few that I can say I can stomach because he's actually trying to say, look, try to see that this creature is not a threatening matter to her. He's not threatening to humankind, although the only threat to humankind is humans. We know this. So when we see this happen, with him doing that, we realize, yes, it's the sister skulls, and when they get to the facility, it's like, shut the fuck up. Don't worry about that. I'm okay. If I'm here, I'm breathing, you can scold me later. You do that later. You hadn't believed me or took me for you haven't took my word for anything because you feel like, well, he's just coming from a child. Well, this child pretty much put her in a place and letting them know that, listen to me. I'm not just a child. I got something to say. So that's the thing I have to say too with this film. Don't always think that the kids, because they're kids, they don't know anything. No, they are something who have not lost their innocence. They can see things better than adults can, because adults, for us, I'm pretty sure like you, like me, we can see things, we can think outside the box, and we see things in a different light than other people will because they're honing in on what they see. But it's like, think past that. You can see things much greater than that. And this is where they was able to say, well, I'm going to, as they said to say, the scientist says like, well, I didn't necessarily take him seriously at the time, but I'm going to see if I can do something that can be a step to being a humanitarian, and just say, send him off, because that's what they do. They put him in this rocket. They lure him into this rocket with fire. They get him launched. And this is one of the times where we see in kaiju history, the first time where we don't kill off the main character. We don't kill off the kaiju. All the kaijus have been destroyed with the first Godzilla, with the original Rodan, with Varan, but here we don't kill them off. They actually be humanitarian with themselves. They actually learn to be human in a good sense, and send them off to go to Mars. Although we know that he doesn't make it. We learned that he's sent to Mars, and we feel like, okay, that's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. But we think like that's like the original Godzilla. We think that's the end of the franchise. That's the end of that character. We're not going to see no more of him. Well, like Godzilla, you can't keep a good kaiju down, because no more than, I think, a year later, he would be in a sequel called Gamera versus Barugan. Ryugan.
War of the Monsters.
War of the Monsters. And it shows right there that something was appealing about this particular kaiju, because otherwise, how would you explain him making more movies after that and just kind of gaining popularity as this engine? No, although we know that come 71, the last of the really big ones of the Gamera films stopped for about 9 years, and then did do the Super Monster, which came out in 80. And let's just say that is by far the worst of the Gamera films. And I have to agree, that shit is like you know how we say Howard the Duck is a bad film. It's campy. Howard the Duck makes that film look. I mean, how I say no.
Like it's an Academy Award winner.
Yes, it makes Howard the Duck look like an Academy Award winning film.
Yeah,
that's just how bad it is.
So, dude, it had they as much as they wanted to do their own thing, they still went the route of the way Toho did when they were on their way out for the 70s for the Showa era, and that's for Attack of the Monsters or Godzilla, All Monsters Attack. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that, and then well, the Super Monster I actually have it because I have
yeah, we got it's on.
I mean, I have it on. Just give me a second. We're almost done. We're pretty much done with the film, but I just want to show some stuff too. But yeah, well, that's the film. Gamera's shot into space, huge ass rocket. That rocket was fucking enormous and whatever. And
yes.
Then, they have the boy says a goodbye to Gamera and everything. And in either way, they didn't kill him, but I don't think they were able to kill him either way. So
that's another thing.
So that was the but they still went the humanitarian route, I guess you could say. And
so even though they agree with that.
So it's like you know what I mean?
No, I mean because look, I think this is a better light for as far as human beings, because we know as far as anything, human beings are far worse than any kaiju or anything like that. Because let's be honest. Someone once said the worst enemy of man is always going to be man. When we see kaijus appear, we feel like, okay, they're a threat to our way of life. Are they a threat to human life, or they're a threat to the planet? And see, that's what we have to stop and think. Are they a threat to the planet? Because if it's a threat to the planet is much greater and bigger than any human sitting on it. So you got to stop and think about it. Like John Carpenter's The Thing, that organism is a threat to the planet. Okay, because that thing can imitate anything living organism on the planet. That's a threat to the planet, not just human beings, to the planet. When you say it's just a threat to human beings are nothing more, as I say, cockroaches to these things. Okay, so that's what we have to stop and say. It's like, is he really a threat, or he's just misunderstood? And I feel like Gamera was always that, especially in this film. He's just a misunderstood entity. He's just somebody he doesn't know his surroundings because he's been frozen for millions of years. And when you come out of the ice, out of a freeze, out of a deep sleep, it's like you're dazed and confused. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how the hell did I get here? You don't know. So it's all these things that culminate to realize that at the end of the film, you realize, like, hey, they celebrate, but the bigger picture is that they didn't. And as you said before, I don't think they could have killed them. I don't believe they could kill them.
Yeah, they couldn't. I don't think so. I think it's
but
no matter how hard they tried, I don't think they were able to do it.
No.
But but it's. I mean, like I said, it was an out there ending, but it's just like you said, like Gamera could have not a threat to the Earth. He would only be a threat if they constantly tried to antagonize him or to provoke him.
That's it.
That's the only way he would be that way. But even in the first movie, he was never a threat. He was never a threat. Like he's like any monster who wakes up, a 200-foot tall monster, who knows how many tons, is gonna be hungry, and it's just like my turtle. I have a turtle, Neptune. I have a turtle, and right now he or she, I don't know if it's he or she yet, but I think it's a girl. But I think right now she's in not what do they call it for turtle? It's not hibernation, but like she goes underneath and digs under. She digs herself under the ground for the whole winter. So
That sounds like hibernation, I think.
Yeah. But she's right now she doesn't. She's chilling. She's asleep. She's knocked out, and she's
See.
been like that for the past whole 3 weeks already. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, she wakes up in the summer. She we feed her. She eats like crazy. But yeah, it's like a. But I mean, the thing about Gamera is like this film is like it's a good start. It's not it. If it wasn't a good start, they wouldn't have gone for the second film. They wouldn't have greenlight the second film.
See.
And if Daiei had the means and they had the the money to do it, they did it, and they were known for not really doing a lot of stock footage. All of the stock footage was just in one film.
No.
So, and that's the super monster. That yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's yeah, that's a,
yeah,
yeah, that,
that's a crazy film. And like here with this one, this was the first my first Gamera DVD that I ever got,
oh nice. Okay. That's
vintage. Like that, like this one, dude. This is the first Gamera I got on Amazon back in 2008, dude. And I got this for $3.
oh, okay.
Well, $4, but it's great, man. I mean, it came a little scratch because I think it's been there. I think it was there for fucking ever. But the this was a little scratch, but it still played everything. So
But you see, that proves right there. This is before, why it was so cheap, because this was before kaiju's really blew up. Because I mean, '98 Godzilla was supposed to do that, but we already know what happened with that. But when 2014 came out, it's like, yep, none of this is going to be cheap anymore. All this is going to be, because all that domino effect started with all these other older films. It's like they're not just going to cost money. It's like, I mean, the Godzilla films, all these other films that are Tokusatsu related, they're going to be costing money. See, and that's a prime example right there. When you mentioned that, because it was like almost $200 originally.
I was
Now it's like,
yeah. When I got it, it was 170.
mhm.
It was 170 because
I was like 150. Well, now I think that was Criterion.
this one was 100, and I think it was 107. I might be wrong. It could have been a little bit more, but
Mhm.
it was because I remember the Criterion Godzilla collection was 112 to 112,
Yeah,
and at the time, but now it went up. But this one was what do you call it? Was limited
the
edition, man.
limited edition. And me, fortunately, I was able to get the not the hyped up version. I mean, it's got the movies, but it's still got everything that I want, which is
Yeah,
the
that's still
behind the
good.
scenes, the trailers, and the English versions of of a Gamera. I
Yeah,
keep
like
wanting to say Godzilla, but it's like, no, it's not Godzilla, dude. See that right there? See all that, all the artwork by Matt Frank and everything. You
yeah,
know,
like it has this, and then it has the sliders. It's got sliders.
yes, that's yes,
It's got
all
like
that
it's
stuff.
got the discs in there. You know, like it's really cool. I like the one you have, man, because it's different. I wish I would have had one that had Gamera like that, like his Showa counterpart and his Heisei counterpart.
Yeah.
And see, that's right there with Legion, and
But you
it's
know what though, and to me, I wish I kick myself sometimes. I wish I could have gotten that one, but at the time, I think I was going through some financial situations at that time, so that's probably why I didn't get it right
here
away.
here's
Yeah,
that,
see, that's a lot of artwork, and everything.
and
But
then
in a way, I'm kind of glad I did get it, because this particular kind, because as I told you before, I mean, to each their own. If they get something and they like it, I feel like for me, I only like stuff that I appreciate in terms of simplifying, But I don't mind getting that kind of stuff because at least, like I say, it's part of my collection, you know.
it's I think I got lucky, man, because I caught it quick.
Yeah,
And I pre-ordered it right away, and then and when it came, it came a little damaged. But
because I was gonna say, how damaged was it? I'm just
it wasn't
curious.
that damaged. It wasn't that damaged. It was just it came in a big old thing, and I still have it. Um, and it came with a comic book, and it came with it came with
Yeah,
a big comic book and a regular written comic book.
because I
So
still remember when you did the video and I saw it. I was like, oh shit, that's because you did the turnaround of it and everything. It's like, oh wow.
yeah,
You know?
it's in here somewhere. It's got the it's a Gamera one, but
Mhm.
it's cool. It's the comic book with the giant snake.
Yeah.
But it's it's like I said, like I think I got lucky, because there probably was maybe only like about 500, maybe 500 release, 500 copies of it.
Which is bananas because you think like, okay, y'all just gonna just settle for that, but I get what they were trying to do. They was trying to say, because you gotta remember that's a lot of stuff for one particular send out if you do it in multiple, because not everyone's gonna buy it, and I guess they say we're just gonna do a limited suggestion of it, and that's good enough.
Yeah, and see, and another thing too is that I was actually gonna buy the one the I was actually gonna buy the version that you have. Still,
Mhm.
I was still gonna buy it, even though I have this one.
Yeah,
I was still gonna buy your version because I love the way it has the Heisei and the Showa
yeah,
counterpart.
you put it together and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, like can you show that? Can you show that one to
Yeah,
me
yeah,
again?
yeah. Hold up one second. I just put it right back. But yeah, it's just pretty simple because all you gotta do is all you gotta do is just do this. Just line it up real nice and it just you can see it, see?
Yeah,
That's the Showa and it's the Heisei.
yeah. And that looks, see, and I was, and see, even though I had the collection I have, I was still gonna buy that one just for that.
Oh, okay, just for the
Yeah, but
art
then
for it.
yeah, but then I told
Right.
myself, I think that's a little overkill, man, because I mean, I'm just I'm just buying the case. I'm not buying. I already have the Blu-rays.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
Same
if you had bought, now, to be honest with you, if you had bought it, you could have easily given it to me. I could
Oh,
take
no, no, no. You know how much I love that Gamera shit. I'd be
I
like,
know. That's what I say.
also I love you, bro, but you know what? Yeah, man,
Like,
you're gonna
no.
have to bite yourself.
You can say, like homeboy say, oh,
Which
no, my brother, you're going to have to get your own.
I love you, my brother, but oh Lord, no, I ain't giving it to you.
Yeah.
But like, no, well. I mean, it's like I said, I do kind of rub it in people's face that I have this one because this is once in a lifetime, bro. Like right
Because
here.
not everybody, that's the thing right there. Not everyone could, I mean, I'm not going to say not everyone can get it. It's just that not everyone did get it because someone was not quick on the draw and getting it.
Yeah, like I said, I probably got lucky, but
Mhm.
yeah, dude, it's worth it. It's worth the whole thing. I mean, is it worth it now for close to $400? I don't think so. But
It shouldn't cost that much.
I think the ones that you have are still on sale.
Yeah, they still, but I think they're higher in price now too, just like that one is.
Yeah,
Price
like
is.
I mean, I already like I said, I already have them all. So it's like I even have the entire Heisei collection. Or no, I think it's so. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just double check that. I think we
Yeah.
still have time. I think we still have time. I don't think there's a time limit, but I don't. I don't want to count my chickens, but.
I think you're pretty good. I mean, I don't think you got to worry about anything. I hope not. Seems like you shouldn't have to. Yeah, people, this is the thing about Gamera. I mean, that just like because behind me I have a thermal that has all the posters of all the Godzilla films. It's and the thing about this thing, it's really warm. This thing is really warm. I've had it on my bed, and it's very warm.
I bet it's warm.
No, like I said, it was real cold one time, and I mean I got some cover on there, but when I put this on here, dude, it warmed me up quick, you know.
Yeah, like
So
this. I'm pretty sure you've seen this one, but I have this one too.
yes, I think I got that one. I got that, but it's a Blu-ray though. It's a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I got this one, but this one has all of them. This one has all of the Heisei and the Showa.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the Heisei and Showa. Gamera the Giant Monster, Gamera versus Barugan, Gamera versus Gauss, and then it has all of the Heisei. But this is an older release. See, it has them all in the back.
See, that's more efficient to do it that way.
Yeah,
But I mean, you can only put so much on there. I mean, in terms of because it's bare bones, it's just the Japanese cut, not the American cut, stuff like that.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, and since I already have this one on Blu-ray, I bought this one later because it was available for like $5. So I ended up getting it. So I haven't even opened it. It's still in the plastic.
Oh, dude, that might be a collector's item, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's probably why I kept it because I got that one and I have Kong on that one too.
Mm-hmm.
The first King Kong.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Okay,
but
you mean the 33rd? Yeah, okay.
yeah, but it's like I said, like Gamera, dude, is I almost love Gamera just as much as Godzilla. So
Yeah.
and it's unique. Like first he started off as an imitator, and then he became his own. He slowly earned his own spot, and
Mhm.
I mean it's I think it's kind of good in a way that he didn't do that many films. That didn't do that many films.
Ooh, sorry. Okay.
Because it kept their it keeps the longevity going because they can expand more if they decide to do another movie.
Well, you
But
see, that's what happened with when it went into hibernation, like Godzilla. He went into deep hibernation for over nearly 15 years, and he started getting into the Heisei, and turns out like those films were like way a little bit better than the Showa. I mean, really dramatizing and showing that God Gamera can crazy this sounds can act, you know, and he's something that it's not something you just take for granted. So it's still somebody had a fever for this character. So and it's just the same with Godzilla when he went into hibernation for just 9 years. He came back in '84 and it's like blew up, and then all of a sudden here come all these other fishes coming out. So it's something about that something eternal inside of us as fans. It was there it was there when we saw it, and something is still stayed dormant, and it just in a way awakened in us something really primal if you think about it. The reason why the these creatures stood the test of time, because I brought this kind of out one of my recent when I was talking about the moments in Godzilla. And now that I think about it, who knows, I might just do something like that down the line, some of Gamera's iconic moments in films. But it shows how these moments or films or whatever has such an effect on us as individuals, because it's just something about it. It's just primal that we like it so much. I mean, it's kind of hard to think that these films, these characters, have stood the test of time, whether it be 70 or 80, damn near 100 years, still stick with us in some strange form or another. And it's like we can't get enough of it. And it seems like we get tired of it, because I know for myself, I originally one time actually got tired of liking Godzilla. Actually it was a dry spell for me. I would actually like to say, Godzilla, whatever. But turns out it's like no, I was just letting it sleep, that part of me sleep. And then when it reawoken in me years later, it's like it came stronger than ever. Again, I think the reason why, because I really wanted to know not just what this creature represents, like Gamera. I want to know who defined and making it come to life, who was behind the scenes, who made this thing walk, talk. I wanted to really invest in this stuff more than I ever imagined myself, because I'm a lover of film. And I guess, like I say, that kind of feeling has never died with me. And like I say, with Gamera, it still sticks to me now, because, you know, he's like I say, he's the forerunner for top kaiju, but at the same time, he's someone that is still standing the test of time to this day. And
yeah,
this film was the thing that got the ball rolling, and that's probably why he's still around. Because if it didn't make so much of an effect on us as a society, then I mean, he would have disappeared long ago. But like Godzilla, no, there's something about him that's just primal in us that just awakened that he's still here, and he's not going nowhere.
yeah, dude. Like they're like even when we're gone, bro. This genre is still gonna be out there. I mean, hopefully, because I think by the time it's art when we're gone, bro, Hollywood's gonna be a memory. Theaters are gonna be theaters are gonna be a memory.
Yeah.
Um, I think theaters are gonna be just become museums. But
Hmm.
it's like
It probably would be.
but
And this is one of the reasons why I say if Hollywood, or at least Japan, stop being stupid, go ahead and pay the money, make some negotiation, get Gamera into the monsterverse. He's saying that's not going to happen. Like, well, if you smart enough, get him in the monsterverse, because I said that he probably needs to be in this upcoming Godzilla X Kong film, because I think he would be a great addition, because the threat that's coming, we don't know what the threat is, but whatever is coming, they need some real heavy duty backup, because we think like Godzilla is the only thing that's going to, make it happen. It's like, yeah, but whatever's coming is going to probably douse you out, so you need some backup.
I
Seriously,
mean,
that's why I
I mean,
say it happen.
I mean, it's true. Sorry, I mean to interrupt you, man.
I mean, go ahead.
No, but I'm saying like it. I mean, depending, like I said, we could we'll talk a little bit about it. Like we'll still get to Gamera, but um, as far as you can see, like some people we hate spoilers, and um, I can't stand spoilers, man. And there's that's why I got out of a lot of groups, a lot of kaiju groups, and I don't hate. I'm not too brutal to the point where people that I know I'm just gonna I'm just gonna ask them. I'm like, look, I'll tell them, look, dude, don't show no fucking spoilers, dude.
Yeah, just
And
do
the
that.
group, especially the group, I said, look, they already know in the group, the new group, what do you call it? True Savage Gaming Sci-Fi Society. You set rules and they respect them, and a lot of them don't like it either, and and you have a point. Like depending on who it is, who's going to be the big bad. Um, if it is going to be more Godzilla focused, I'm pretty sure Kong is still going to be in there. But Kong, Suko, and and Shimo are gonna have already enough. They're gonna have enough on their plate. Just making sure the freaking Hollow Earth is secure.
Take care,
So,
right?
so and Shimo, Shimo, like she already had. I think she probably will come out again. She'll probably help if she has to. But
Mhm.
I mean, she's also one of the most powerful titans in the monsterverse, dude. So
Yeah,
I think Kong. I think Kong will be like. I think Kong will be. Just like the way Godzilla's always been the side character. I think
hmm
Kong's going to be the side character and the supporting character in this one.
in this one, yeah,
And yeah, and he'll probably tell Godzilla, look. I mean, even Kong wouldn't stand a chance if it's a intergalactic threat. I don't think Kong stands a chance.
hmm
I mean, if Kong, Suko, and Shimo, well, see that's the thing now. Kong has his army. He has an army. Uh, well, not an army. He has a big tribe now of
yeah.
apes, right? Like a troop. So, um, but would he really be wanting to put them in
Sacrifice,
danger?
yeah, put them in the harm's way, right?
Yeah. I mean, Suko. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, Suko will be much older and bigger and stronger now. If
hmm
they're going to be working out training with Shimo and with Kong, but um, it's like it's still a risk. And Shimo's still very ancient. Looks probably older than Godzilla,
Probably,
um, but she's still super powerful, man. So that's to me, if for Kong, that's Kong's ace up the sleeve is Shimo.
yeah,
And but remember, man, Shimo's got some super durable fucking scales, dude. Because
yeah,
not even Godzilla's powered up enhanced atomic breath did nothing.
yeah. Because when she got hit by it, it's like, no, you ain't gonna hit me, motherfucker. That's not happening. You know.
And if Godzilla is in a powered up Super Saiyan form, and he was still having a little bit of trouble with Shimo, well, that's how strong Shimo is. But I think to me that Shimo is Kong's ace up the sleeve in case it has to come to that.
Yeah.
Uh, do I think it should end? Yes. Do I think it should end? I think the MonsterVerse should end.
Yeah.
If Godzilla dies, well, it'll be he'll it'll be if he dies as a warrior. He dies not a martyr, but as a warrior.
Well, this is why I say not. I'm just adding what you're saying, but this is why I say that they should bring in an introduction of Gamera, or at least him, because he's well known, but not just because he's well known, but he's a very powerful type himself, and I feel like you know, God, whatever this threat might be, if it's able to kill off Godzilla, most likely I'm thinking Kong is going to take the go down too. This is where I say that someone has to be a protector of the planet, and if you got both of the leads gone, just eradicated, Gamera would be the better fit because he's a very durable entity, and depending on how tough he is in that film, if they decide to go, I'm not saying they're going to, but that would be a big surprise if they do that. But this is just my theory. if they decide to bring him in, he'd be the perfect, anomaly to make sure that the Earth is in safe hands. So that's why I say it would be a far cry to say that's a lot of money to bring in something that's opposite of Godzilla, but I feel that will be a smart choice because he by far is one of the few kaiju's I've seen in cinema who can pretty much because we've always wanted to see a battle between Godzilla and Gamera so many times. I mean, some have done it in like short fan films, video games, but to say that he wouldn't be able to stand up against Godzilla it's like no, this guy he's very tough. He's very durable. I
Yeah.
feel Gamera would be very close knit in terms of taking Godzilla and Pride Kong easily their place. I feel he would be.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree. I mean that would be something to have. Say if it is an intergalactic threat coming, in supernova, that what if that intergalactic threat is not the only thing that lands on. That's not the only thing that lands on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And say a young Gamera falls also to the planet,
Yeah.
and is not groomed but is found and utilized by Monarch, and say, hey, we can mold this new kaiju, and have him fight for us when
Yeah.
Kong, because Kong's getting old, bro. He's struggling. So
Yeah.
it's like, and it's weird how he's aging so quick. He's not Godzilla's freaking almost ancient. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Because
want
he
to call.
regenerates.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to call him like eons. Maybe he's lived for eons. I don't know. But um I mean, it's just Kong. Well, I mean, yeah, Kong's different. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's built like a freaking juggernaut, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
juggernaut, and he's shown that. I mean, now the power difference is way is has shifted more because Godzilla
Mm-hmm.
powered up, leaving Kong in the dust, and Kong he has to literally use tools and that cybernetic arm to even just try to keep up with him.
He will with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, they said when he knocked out Godzilla, it's like, dude, if you knocked out Godzilla, dude, he would have, like, and it showed, like, Godzilla's still too much for Kong.
Yeah.
And but Kong, like I said, Kong was not looking. Kong could have killed him, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So,
He's not looking to
not
kill
kill.
him.
I don't even think kill him. Even if you use the axe, he can't kill him because he can't charge it. He can't
Mhm.
charge the axe, or he didn't even
Well,
use
not
the axe.
even I would say kill him. Yeah, I would say he just trying now. Even trying to knock him out. He's trying to say, "Look, I'm trying to make you help me." I'm trying to
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Help me out."
yeah. And he was scared. Like, he was concerned. He was scared. He's like, shit. I remember what this fucker did to me in the first
Mhm.
fight. So, but I mean, not so much scared, but more just to, hey, man, he's trying to communicate with him, saying, hey, look, I'm not a threat. There's a bigger threat,
Mhm.
and the threat wasn't Scar King. The threat was Shima.
No, Shimo, right?
Like, Shima was the threat. So, but it's like, and you know what? It's been a while since we actually talked about this, and I think if Gamera was to get an introduction, I would agree that this would be the best time, and then that way, Godzilla's story ends, or maybe they do find another a small infant Godzilla that's not his, but it's still the same species.
Mhm. Yeah,
That could start up, but that takes eons, because you know how it
that's what I'm
grows.
saying. It takes high
Yeah,
growth, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
that how it grows. But um, with Gamera can take the mantle, and they can start a whole new monsterverse. And yeah, it can be a like a spin-off, but Gamera Kong's if Kong survives, but let's say Kong survives, but he's maimed, like badly maimed, like loses a hand, loses an arm, whatever. He still has his people to help him. So,
Mhm.
and Shimo, I mean, Shimo's literally like a rhinoceros mount, dude, that can shoot ice. you know
Yes.
and Suko can take over the mantle of Kong.
What I
And
was going to say, he's learning from his adopted father, and yeah, he can learn from him.
yeah, and eventually maybe Suko can Gamera, if Gamera was by some freaking miracle was introduced, Suko can have an ally in Gamera.
Yeah,
And Kong ages, and Shimo. I don't think Shimo really ages. I just think that
no, I don't think so.
she'll defend. She'll defend Kong now because Kong treats her equally. Kong treats her like
Yes,
she's
true.
supposed to be treated. So
Yeah.
and doesn't have to enslave her. Doesn't have to use anything as for leverage. I mean, and I'm sure like Godzilla accepted that because I think Kong literally said, "Look, let me handle Shimo. You take care. You take care. We focus on what we agreed on. I'll stay in the Hollow Earth, and I'll what's that word like." I'll patrol the Hollow Earth. You stay.
Mhm.
You
You
stay
take care of the surface area here.
on the surface. Because Godzilla's the first line of defense, and
Yeah,
Kong. I think Kong would be. Kong is better. I think Kong is better as a second line of defense because now he has Shimo,
right.
and he has allies. He has Suko. If Suko starts to grow and starts to just like Kong, holy
Which he
shit!
will.
I mean, come on, two Kongs like that, two Kongs on equal footing, like holy shit, bro, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, because it's like I said, and now Kong is not so he doesn't have to do all the work himself now. He has a troop. He has people now. So, but it's weird how they're all smaller and they're all like less like him. But
Hmm.
it's a good. I mean, it's a good analogy, man. But I would love to see Gamera on the MonsterVerse,
It
man.
would be brilliant. I mean, I would love to see that, but I mean, it's all about it's all about politics. It's all about money. It's all about things that feel like okay. Don't you feel like if as producers, filmmakers, storytellers, don't you think that you should owe it to the people who love these particular characters and combine them together? Because to say that he joins the MonsterVerse, dude, trust me, and I'm saying introduce him by not showing anything advertising wise, show him as a surprise. And it's like, oh shit, he's in it. That would get people so quickly. They would be like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all made our dreams come true. Seeing, because look, the fact that you've seen Godzilla, Mothra, and Kong in the
Shot.
same shot, to me, if that's possible, I don't see how you cannot have both Kong, Gamera, Godzilla, and probably Mothra too in the same shot, dude. You got like you probably got like 100 million right there. You know
And what if there's Mothra too. Mothra's back.
that's what I'm
Mothra.
saying. Mothra is back in, yeah, still in
But
there.
imagine if say there's a first fight in Supernova, and like I said,
Mhm.
I've already also seen some fucking spoilers from dumb fucks that like to spoil shit. So if you guys are watching, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
Uh,
seriously, double
uh,
fuck.
yeah, we call it. But imagine if Godzilla gets taken out first,
Hmm.
or just gets so badly beaten that he has to retreat to the Hollow Earth,
Yeah.
and 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 then this whatever antagonist follows, and then Kong, Suko, and Shimo, all band together to either protect Godzilla or help Godzilla, and say this threat takes out not kills them, but takes out all four of them, or has them all on the ropes. And
Hmm.
imagine if Mothra is like in desperation goes up to the surface, goes up to the hollow, goes up to the
World.
surface, and summons Rodan
Ah.
for aid. So now now remember you got two flying kaiju's plus three
Hmm.
plus four plus three powerhouse ones and one younger one.
Say.
So Rodan can be like maybe a small, maybe could be a small addition, a small help, but
Hmm.
a small help can make a difference. And even if he's sacrificed in the movie, I don't give a shit. If they were to bring him back, even if he's sacrificed, but say he does a fatal blow or uses his supersonic speed to literally use his beak as a fucking as a javelin and freaking shoves it right into that antagonist's chest.
Yes.
And I'd be like, ooh, and then Rodan uses his thermal combustion inside of his body and freaking explodes.
See.
Like, yeah, and I'm sure, man. But it's like I said, it's like I'm not only because I'm a Rodan fan, and Gearus would be a great addition for like
Yeah.
for an Earth Defender, King Caesar.
Because he's durable. Yeah.
Imagine if everybody's saying it's a certain somebody in Supernova. What if it's Gamera himself? That's the antagonist. That'd be funny.
Now that would be funny if that could be the case. You know, I mean, because he can fly into space, but I mean, I don't know. You know, because his origins can't have been altered before. So I mean, it's never can tell. You know,
Maybe he left. Maybe he left the Earth and then decided to come back and claim it.
Well, here's a better theory. He left, and he's coming back because whatever this threat is, he's got
following
to.
him. It's following.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not just following him, or he's following it. But then
Yeah.
again, that might be a better thing. It's following him. So
Yeah.
it's like I'm trying to get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are all theories, but that could work, And you see that the threat is a way more out there kind of situation because it's not a threat to human society. It's a threat to the whole planet. And if the whole planet is in danger, that's when we realize, oh no, we gotta have to buckle down and say we gotta get these people in, these kaiju's in here and see if they can do something, because that dude. And I'm thinking now we're talking about this. I'm wondering, like I say, this everyone is watching. This is just theory. This is just two people who love Gamera and all kaiju manner, all the same. We're just theorizing. What if they show him doing his OG version of flying, where all his holes are pretty much used to propel him to fly, or will we have him doing the Superman realm where it's just two of the things and he's just doing the Superman thing, I don't know. It's touch and go, and I'm wondering, how some people say, well, let's do a retro style, let's not do it that's not too good. But then again, some people may see that, well, that's kind of silly. We want to do something that's more up to date. But it's like, don't you think when you see creatures of certain size in a film, you think that's not breaking laws or anything like that? That's using your imagination so that they are out of touch, they're all out of whack and everything. It's something dude, you're believing a creature that's 400 feet tall. Don't you think that if you see a turtle that's, about that size, being able to fly like that, don't you think that would be possible to do that too? Pull that off?
Probably cut through some freaking evil kaiju's like a buzzsaw.
Yes, see, because he's done that role. Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, he did that. He did that in a lot in what do you call it, in Rebirth. But yeah, man. But like I said, we're in an hour and 30, man. And what do you call it? But we'll leave it at that for our first. Well, the last, the first actual discussion for Gamera on my channel and for the Sci-Fi Society and True Savage Gaming, but also the last for the year. And it was great, because I just, like I said, yesterday we just thought about it out of the blue, man. It's like, fuck it, because we wanted to do, like I said, we wanted to do mid-90s because that's a badass film, but that we have to wait till we have film.
The Don Malone on there,
Yeah. And then, but yeah, man. But this was also a great conversation. Always super fun, man. Always super fun. Like me and you could talk forever about Gamera, about
kaiju. Dude, we could, because I know we've talked for hours one time, dude. And I'm talking about hours, and it's like it's usually just on this topic, and it's like there's so much to talk about. I mean, it's there. It's always there, and there's no limit to it. It's almost infinite. we can
Yep.
talk
But,
about it.
but yeah, brother. Like I said, man, we'll leave it at that, man. Since it is my first actual pre-recorded video, um, I'll like to ask Walter what he's got coming up for his channel, and then I'll in other words, just let us know. Let me know, man, what you got coming up. We already know what I want to get coming up, but what do you got coming up?
Well, like I say, this is one of them, but I mean, it's done now. But this Friday coming, I'm going to be doing my top 30 comic book, 30 comic book films that I've favored the most. And I don't use superhero. I mean, I could say superhero, but superhero is in terms of saying that, okay, it's always going to be the bad guy. I mean, it's going to be the good guy against the bad guy kind of feel. But some of the movies that are on this list, some of them are not necessarily what you call, superhero types. It's actually kind of villainous, like Joaquin Phoenix and Joker. To me, that's a very good film. That's based on a comic book.
Yeah.
That would definitely be on the list. But where on the list, I don't know. I'm not gonna. Well, when I say I know, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So you got to realize, like, taking what's been handed down to us since almost, no, not almost, over 80 years, nearly 90 years ago,
Yeah.
and put it into film form, from like the first Superman film to whatever we got now, which is not saying too much because we don't really know how it's going to go. Because eventually, Adventures Doomsday is going to come out, and I recently did a trailer reaction to one of their trailers, so it's got me kind of hyped, but I don't know what the film's going to be like. But the bottom line is, it's going to be this Friday, and the thing about this is going to be my like this one for you. This will be my last video, depending on what's going down in terms of what's going to come between that. That'll be my last official video for this year,
Okay.
because this year has been a hell of a year in terms of me, spitting out content. I've been, dude, since I got this laptop
Yes. Out
and
the ass.
everything. I've been showing my ass, been showing, I've been doing stuff that I never imagined, and it's all been pretty decent. And like I say, I can say I thank you for it, and others, inspire me, because like I say, I wouldn't have gotten there if it wouldn't be for y'all. Because that's the thing, you got to be encouraged, and if you got the drive, do it. And I produced a lot of stuff, dude. I produced a lot of stuff. I produced more stuff this year than I've done in the past 5 years, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So where it goes from here, we don't know. But I know after the beginning of next year, I got something in the works. But for right now, that's all I'm going to focus on for the remainder of this year. This in this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's good stuff, man. Howard the Duck. I mean, Howard the Duck was fuck, bro. That was a really good.
It actually is. I mean, some people give it a lot of shit, but it's actually more entertaining than some people give it
But
credit.
but when we did it, it was great, man. It's just like this one. We were prepped up, and we were prepped up and ready for it and everything, and it was good, man. And I wanted to do a best of. I want to do another best of, man. But it's just doing the best of is just a lot. It's like
It's a lot more work than you
I
might
just
think.
I just want to. I'll probably just make a playlist of the best of 2025, man. It's just and people can if they want to, can look at it. I'm not. It's like we said, like me, I don't. It's not. I don't take my channel seriously. It's just this is just fun. It's just something that I do for a
That's the
hobby.
same with me. I don't take mine that seriously.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not trying to make a fucking. I'm not trying to make it a career. I'm not trying to do this and that shit. I already. I had already gotten out of the previous type of stuff. Odie. The previous kind of the previous types of what do you call it? Hold on, give me a second, man.
Yeah, but Otis is saying, like, yeah, you got to do your stuff, man.
He won't shut up. He won't shut up if I don't freaking call him in there. Hey,
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I'll say this.
get over here. Hey.
This is the thing about content creators. We do our thing, but we're supposed to be doing it for fun, not for profit. I mean,
No, I mean,
if profit comes along, that's fine, but that's not what we're here for. Because I
Yeah,
know
like-
I'm not doing this for that.
yeah, like I mean, I'm gonna say like I always am, dude. I don't care what other people. I mean, I watch. There's certain other people I watch, but
Mhm.
I like I've told other people and I tell them I don't. I do this because it's fun and I don't take it seriously, and I have so much other shit going on.
Yeah.
But it's fun, like I said. But now that my circles are much smaller, and I got a lot of other stuff going on, and another thing too, like since it's the last uh, discussion video for on my end, there's a lot of shit going on my end, man, and I'm not making up no excuses at all, and I've got a lot of issues going on. Walter knows about it. Anybody who's my true friends know about it, and it gets hard sometimes where I don't want to do nothing. I can't do nothing. I get tired
Yeah.
quickly. I get sore for certain reasons, for not even doing shit. It's something that I have to deal with, that I'm still learning how to instead of getting angry or frustrated about it, I have to learn how to learn about it,
Kind of
understand
dial
it,
it back and
learn about it, understand it.
yeah,
And
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah,
Understand.
yeah. And it's just about that's what's about growth. And for me, I've already gone back to a lot of my old stuff that we talked about too. Well, like I started, I'm not skateboarding, I'm not thrashing hard, like doing kick flips and rail slides and nose slides and stuff. I'm
Hmm.
just cruising, learning to get my balance back. And I bought another bike. I bought a new bike, and I'm just enjoying life, man. If I'm retired, if I had to retire early, man, and I'm doing my thing, I'm gonna do it the best to my ability, and I don't care what anybody thinks, man. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to get no freaking. I'm not trying to get no notoriety. I'm not trying to get no. How do you say it? Like, I'm not trying to get any validation from anything,
Yeah, I
man.
was gonna say no validation.
Doing, I'm doing me for me, and life's too short. I got me and a lot of other people in this world have a lot of other stuff going on, man. And yes, do I still love doing streams? I do. Video games are the main focus, but I'm never gonna stop completely doing stuff like this, especially with
You'll find something there, like I say,
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, and with Film Fanatic, and like I said, forming the new group, um, True Savage Gaming, which is a much smaller group. And I've known all those guys for years and talked to those guys for years already. And like there's Lorenzo, that we got, of course, we got Alberto, Alzilla. Um, we have another friend of mine who's Sean Kidahara, from
yes.
Boston. And then we have Film Fanatic on there too. We got Nina back on there. I got to get with Nina too. Eventually, we got to get with Nina,
I
man.
know Neenan, someone you definitely got to co-host with
Yeah,
something. Let's
and
put
we
some.
got a few others on there, and it's just you got to keep flowing, man. Got to keep moving. Don't I like Walter, and like some other people too, man. I don't swim upstream, bro. I don't go against the current, man.
Mhm.
I swim with the current.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is just focus on yourself and what you love, man. And since hopefully the new year comes, man, it's been a rough year for me, a good year but a rough year at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but it's life is a struggle, bro. Life is pain, and that's what I'm starting to realize, that there's certain things in life that you have to overcome, and then still keep moving, keep living, keep loving, man. Like
Oh,
that's the
for
whole,
sure.
and yeah, and what I got coming up on my channel, man, probably maybe just once a month I'm gonna try to do another pre-recorded discussion, and just keep at it, just to keep at it, and then keep with Ninja Gaiden. Gonna keep up with Ninja Gaiden. I now have a way to upload old school gaming, which is like from Nintendo and all that stuff. I got still other games that I just bought on Xbox and PlayStation, and it's gonna be good, man. Video games is also helping me to. It's a different path now, and
Yeah.
but I'm still gonna be able to do this. I'm just not much of a pre-recording person as far as doing like like you guys do, like trailer reactions or stuff like that. But the one thing I might start doing too is like what you did. You said you want to come up with the your top 10 favorite films, superhero films. I want to. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do it. But when I do it, I want to do not only mid '90s and other films, but I want to do a top. I want to do a top 10 favorite characters from Marvel.
There you go.
I want to
Yeah.
do. I want to do. Yeah, do that one. And just for shits and giggles, man. To me, it's just for fun, man. It's just
Yeah.
I'm not trying to freaking impress people and fucking act like a jackass and fucking give half of my soul just to fucking get views. Like that's not me, man. I don't do that. Like anybody who truly knows me knows I don't do that. And G Fest. G Fest is on for this year, and yeah, man, it's on, and it's gonna be fun too. And the new year, just you got to bring new. It's gonna come new challenges, but also new opportunities.
Yes.
And yeah, man, and this was fun. This is fun to finally talk about the legendary Gamera, and his legacy is lasting and going just as strong as Godzilla's. And I hope they can follow up on Gamera Rebirth, because that was to me it was an amazing anime. But
Yes.
yeah, but I that's pretty much it. I just got some other I got second playthroughs coming too, especially with Ryu Hayabusa, and then with Ninja Gaiden 4 Yakumo. Still working on Kazan. Really into Yakuza 0. That's a good game, bro. And I already bought Infinite Wealth, and I bought The Man Who Erased His Name.
Okay.
I got those. I got them on special, bro. Before the whole, I got him. I think it was Black Friday specials. So I got those. That's why right now, dude, I'm strapped, dude. I'm so strapped. I don't even know how. I think me and the girl I'm gonna be going on a date with on Friday, bro. I think we're gonna have to go get fast food, dude, because I'm fucking strapped.
It's not about the food; it's about the company.
Yeah. But but yeah, you know what I'm talking about, dude. It's a struggle, bro. It's a struggle, especially right now. But besides that, guys, I would like to thank whoever does watch this, and get ready for 2026. Get ready for G Fest, new challenges yet. Just to see what happens, man. Like good things will happen. New challenges and good positive things, could happen for everyone. Not just I don't want to be that type of person that's negative. I always want to try to be positive, man. So you learn from your mistakes. Keep learning from your mistakes. Even though you can get to my age and you still make fucking mistakes. You can get to Walter's age and still make fucking mistakes. But always push forward. Always believe in yourself. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you're not anything. Just keep doing it, man. And like I said, I'm not a person that really is a type of person that literally inspires people because I want to. It's never my intention. But I'm just grateful for the ones who stuck by me, and the people like Walter and Dee and and Alberto and a lot of the other guys that I know. And yeah, man, just here's to a new year, man, and new goals, and we do our best we can. We cannot stop living, bro. What is that word you always keep saying, Walter? Can't stop living, man.
Can't stop living. Gotta keep pushing on.
Gotta push through that bullshit. You gotta fight through that.
Yeah, gotta fight through that bullshit. Yes, like
but everyone, happy New Year, happy holidays.
Yes.
Walter will be coming back. What he just said, what he's got coming up, and mid-90s is what I got coming up next. But that's not going to be probably till mid January of next year. And but it was fun as always, brother. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to do a video discussion with my brother Walt, with Jedi Grand Bell. So everyone who was watching, we are the Sci-Fi Society / True Savage Gaming. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and we are out.
Bye-bye.
That whole story is like, that's pay-per-view, guys. Like, you don't get a lot of that stuff.
I'll write a book one day.